guys, today we've got our disciplines of telekinesis with our fabulous cards for 40k. So we'll just take a run through the powers and have a chat about them. The Primaris power for the telekinesis discipline is Assail. Assail is a beam that has an 18-inch range, strength 6, no AP. It's assault 1 and it does strike down. Now, Darryl, beams. Are you a fan of beams?
I'm a fan of Jaws, but it's a different type of beam. The beams get weaker the further more models they get through, but this particular beam only hits one guy.
Well, it's assault 1. It'll hit all the guys underneath the beam, but it's strength 6. The next guy hits strength 5, strength 4, or 3, 2, till it's down to 0. It has strike down on it. Strike down halves the initiative and halves the speed.
And half the initiative and makes them count as if they're in terrain. But it just makes them specific models.
Yeah, the ones hit under the line.
Which, if you're trying to stop a unit from getting to you, is all right, because all you have to do is slow down 1 or 2 guys, and then the unit's starting to have to go. The thing is, if you are going to use this, you try to target your beam at the models at the back of the guy's unit, because then it can't up and leave them. If you target the models at the front of the unit, it'll just move the ones from the back to the front. So if you can beam one of the guys at the back, that's best, because then he can't up and leave them. He's sort of stuck. But it just doesn't do it for me.
No, again, the Primaris powers here are your default. If you roll your random dice, which we don't like, and you get a power you don't like, you can always choose to have Assail. Assail, it's not great.
No, it's not. A lot of the other Primaris powers are quite good, possibly the best power in their section, but this one's no. So Assail's so you're looking for some random generated at this point. The next one is you roll a 1, you get Crush. Crush is focused Witchfire, which means it only attacks one guy, but you have to get 5 or less on your to pick the guy
in your psychic test in order to pick the guy out. It's got 18-inch range. You roll 2d6 for the strength of the attack. If you get a 10, if you get 11 or 12, the attack causes an automatic wound or an automatic penetrating hit if it's a vehicle.
That sounds good, guys. An automatic wound or an automatic penetrating hit. But I'd rather hit a character for a strength 10.
Get instant death, you mean?
Get a chance of an instant death. You hit him for an 11 or 12, you automatic wound, you'll get an armor. It doesn't say negates armor saves.
No, there is actually AP for it. The AP has to be rolled as well, so it's another... It's
5.
The orc's not got a psychic power. It's very similar to this, where everything just gets rolled.
It is a very orcish psychic power, but then we all know our green brethren don't get
they really
don't get access to
They get hoofed when it comes to psychic power.
Guys, it's not for much. That's all we can say about it. It's a bit wishy-washy.
I'm sure there's a story somewhere out there on the internet
of the day
that Crush destroyed a Land
Guys,
Raider.
I can give you one of them stories. At the weekend, an exploding objective killed a blood crusher I was fighting. Well, not a blood crusher, the big...
Blood letter.
No, the huge big blood one that flies.
I don't know, blood demon, big demon guy. He's a blood letter, isn't he?
The huge big one. That's my story. But did I plan for that?
Bloodthirster. That's the boy.
At the weekend, an exploding objective killed a bloodthirster. Do I work my battle plan for next week? An exploding objective? No, and that's working Crush. For that sort of plan.
Yep. So the next one is Gate of Infinity. Anybody who's seen any of the Space Marines,
it works. I got wings. I can fly. If you fly by yourself, you don't scatter as a librarian, and if you fly with a unit, you do scatter. But it's a free bounce, 24 inches forward, and hammer and anvil.
It's a blessing. The Psyker and his unit can be jumped forward 24 inches, where you deep strike from there, which means you can get further than 24 as well.
And if you can get yourself some sort of homing beacon type thing at the other end.
Yeah,
you can possibly use it too. So yes, it's a great psychic power, but if that had been the Primaris one, I'd have been going telekinesis.
Telekinesis across the board for anybody who's got a combat type army that wants to get in close combat.
It's great, hammer and anvil. It's great for your big blob of 10 Terminators, because I would rather have 10 Terminators than 5 in a Land Raider. Because what happens to the Land Raider breaks us as it drives over a twig. Yeah,
that's it. All the times that I've immobilized my Land Raiders.
Ever drive over any suspicious looking piece of green shrubbery with a Land Raider, because it turns out it's super metal corrosive.
Exactly, that's the day you roll a 1, and it never goes anywhere. Okay, the next one is 3. It's Objuration Mechanicum. It's a malediction, 24-inch range. While the power is in effect, the target unit must re-roll to hit and to wound rolls that get a 6. In addition, if the target's a vehicle or a vehicle squadron, each vehicle in the unit has a strength 1 hit with the Haywire special rule allocated to it. Roll separately for each. Not bad. If you can get within 24 of a squadron of battle tanks.
It's the re-rolling 6s to hit or to wound. So it's not great. It's all shades of filler.
It's a curse, but it's not that bad.
I would call it poly.
Yeah, it's filler. It's filler. I mean, if you can get it onto a vehicle and you can get some Haywire strikes on them, you know,
that's your best thing. Yeah. 24 inches Haywire grenade, especially onto something that's down to 1 hull point.
Yeah,
that's it.
Okay, next, Shockwave. Shockwave is a Nova power with a 12-inch range. It hits for strength 3 with no AP. It's got assault D6 and it's pinning. So
short range shooting, instead of doing your normal shooting, if you had a Storm Bolter, would you fire it or fire this?
This automatically hits as far as I know, but it's 12-inch range. Again, it's all
strength
it's all
3
shades of
D6. I get 6 shots, but
again,
then
I'm sure. If you were really, do you know what it'd be great for? You see if you get charged by a unit and they fell short or something, and you just moved up next turn. They were then, well, you knew you were going to get loads of, 3 units of it, a guardsman or something. And you just went right, press the Nova button now, blam, and just blasted a whole lot of them. Then it'd be great. But it's a really corner case of when it would ever work.
It's again, see a problem with all these psychic powers. I haven't seen anything that's over 24-inch ranges. There's none of this living lightning. I sit in my corner of the board and I hit you in your corner of the board. You know, it's all very short. Yeah. It's all very. See, the thing is, the librarians you want in the other person's side of the board is the likes of Mephiston, but he has his own little set of 3 psychic powers. That's all he ever uses. Would you swap any of his for these?
No.
We'll go on.
We'll go on. Shockwave. No, nah. Right, next is Telekine Dome. It's a blessing. Friendly unit within 12 gets a 5-up invulnerable save against shooting attacks. Every time you make that save, you choose an unengaged enemy unit within 6 who then suffers basically the shot that was supposed to hit you.
There is a Necron Shield that does a very similar thing. It's all shades of nothingness.
Sorry, but if you were going for a random roll and you got it, I wouldn't be swapping this one out for the Primaris power, but still, I wouldn't be pleased.
It's all right. A 5-up invulnerable can either save you hugely, or you just it never existed. It's all right. It's not terrible. It's not as bad as some of the others, but it's
and here's our last one. Vortex of Doom, Warp Charge 2. Vortex of Doom is a Witchfire power. Has a range of 12 inches. It does Strength 10, AP 1. It's Heavy 1, and it's Blast. It's Heavy 1, which is one of the few psychic powers that's not Assault as well.
So you have to stand still or be in Terminator armor.
Yeah, or otherwise you're snap firing it. Well, you can't even snap fire. It's a blast.
Yeah. So it's.
However, well, before you go any further, let's read the real crunch. If you fail your psychic test, that's not if you get Perils of the Warp. That's if you fail it. So even if you fail it,
and get Perils
of the Warp, the blast marker appears on top of your head.
So
and doesn't scatter. And
if you have just deep strike with your psyker, your librarian, and your nice little circle, and there's a Land Raider sitting there, and you're going, I can get rid of it. Do you fire that?
Do you fire yourself? If you're inside a vehicle, do you fire it? Do you fire it?
If your rhino has got that hatch up the top, do you fire it?
Knowing you're gonna kill your rhino and kill it.
And all your inside it. Yeah, it's put it this way. I think it'll be popular with Justin.
Justin would look at that and strength 10 AP 1, and he'd be all over.
Problem is,
he'd be killing more of his own guys than.
The other thing with this is range 12 inches.
Yeah.
Even if you do not peril yourself, and the target is in range, you could just scatter back and land in your freaking...
You could.
Your head.
Yeah, if it's like 6 inches away, do you risk it? Do you risk using your strength 10?
Now, there's advantages
all across the board. You know something? I would want that just to do all that. I blow myself up continually for a laugh.
There is advantages to this. There is.
Pray tell what those advantages are.
Suicide. Kamikaze. It is strength 10. It is AP 1. If you're in and amongst the enemy, it will work. If you want the game over quickly,
so if you want to go, if you're really desperate to go down to the pub, this is the part of spam.
The advantage, one of the advantages to this is compared to the other shooting powers in telekinesis, it's the best.
It's the best one. That's it. That's the. And we can end the video there. I think that's at that point. It's the best shooting attack you get. If you're picking telekinesis at all, you know what it is you're going for. You're going for like Gates of Infinity, probably.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You're going for Gate of Infinity. You're ending up with Vortex of Doom, and you're having a good laugh with it. So enjoy Vortex of Doom, guys, because it's fun at least.
Yeah.
So all right, we'll go. We'll have a look at some more psychic powers.